Hey everyone, and welcome to the Parent Support Program hosted by EAST. Our goal here is to improve your technical skills and knowledge so that you can better support your children in their virtual learning. My name is Amy Bell, and I am the Program Coordinator for Education Unleashed here at EAST. If you're unfamiliar with EAST, but you've chosen to tune in, thank you very much. Here's a little more about what we do. So EAST is an educational nonprofit headquartered in Little Rock, Arkansas. Our primary focus is putting industry-grade technology into the hands of students in grades 2 through 12. We develop their tech skills, we offer them training sessions led by industry professionals, and we empower those students to go out into their community and solve problems. We have nearly 270 EAST programs in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Pennsylvania. We also provide professional development and support through our Education Unleashed program. We provide customizable training sessions each year to educators, co-ops, and civic organizations. So in today's session, we're talking about Google Chrome extensions. Google Chrome extensions are small software programs that can modify and enhance the functionality of your Chrome browser. You can customize Chrome and you can add features and functionality simply by adding an extension from the Chrome Web Store. So this includes adding new features to Chrome or simply modifying the existing behavior of the program itself to make it better for you, the user. Now, don't confuse extensions with Google applications like Google Docs, Google Keep, Google Drive. Those run alone, essentially like a website. Extensions work in conjunction with your Chrome browser. These extensions can be installed on Chrome for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and also Chrome OS-based devices like a Chrome laptop. However, they don't work on mobile versions of the Chrome browser for your Android or your iOS device. Sorry, not yet. There are literally tens of thousands of extensions to choose from on the Chrome Web Store. And don't worry, I've provided a link to the Chrome Web Store in my handout. In fact, my handout includes direct links to all the extensions that I'll be talking about today and a few more that I won't have time to cover. The link to my handout is on this slide, eastlink.me/Google Handout. I've also put a link to the handout in the chat. Remember, it's case sensitive, so make sure you capitalize the G and the H when you type it into your Chrome browser. So let's start by visiting the Chrome Web Store to see where we can find extensions. Don't forget, I have included a link to the Chrome Web Store in my handout. So when you open up the Chrome Web Store, you know you're in the Chrome Web Store because up here on the top it says Chrome Web Store. And on the left-hand side, you'll notice that the extensions is highlighted. So we're looking for extension. If it's not highlighted, if maybe themes is highlighted when you come in, make sure you click on that extensions button so that you're looking for extensions. Now, like I said earlier, there are literally thousands of extensions on the Chrome Web Store. And so Google is going to give you some recommendations of some that, maybe they like, maybe they're being paid to promote, I don't know. But they've got a box here called recommended for you. They've also got other topics, areas of interest, I guess, of extensions. So if you scroll down, you're going to see lots and lots of different ones. Editor's picks, work from home, but this is one I want to make sure that you check out. They have an option here called Online Education Tools for School. So they've grouped some extensions that Google thinks could help with your students' online education. There's 8 showing up on the screen, but they've also got a little button that says View All. So let's click on that and see all the online education tools for school extensions that Google says they recommend. So if you scroll through them, you're going to see several. Now, it's so easy to sort of quick view those extensions simply by hovering over one. So see, I just hovered over the speed test extension box, and it gives me more information about that extension. See, it says take a speed test directly from your toolbar to quickly test your internet performance without interruption. That's pretty cool. If I say, oh, okay, I'm interested in that extension, I simply click on the box. So left click on the box, and it brings me up a whole nother page that is only about this extension, speed test by Ookla. I guess that's pronounced Ookla. Most extensions, when you click on them like that, will have either a slide deck here of more information or a video about more information about that particular extension. You'll notice at the top, there is an overview, and that's where we're at right now. And if you scroll down, you're going to get more information about that extension. So this one again says, take a speed test directly from your toolbar, and more information, features, permissions, that sort of thing. They even give you some related extensions down here at the bottom that you can click through. And it's just like you're on Amazon, and when you put something in your cart and they say, oh, if you like that, you might like this too. Here's some other extensions that you might want to check out if you're interested in this type of extension. Now, if I scroll back up, you can see, once again, we're in overview, and I can click on their privacy practices. I can see actual reviews of the extension, which I really like to read through. That helps me a lot when I'm choosing whether or not I want to add that extension to my Chrome browser. And then you can see the stars. This user only gave 2 out of 5, and you can see that review was in 2018. So here's an update in 2020. You can see the dates that they rated them, the stars they gave them. So that's good information when you're trying to choose an extension. There's a button for support, and once again, a button for related extensions. So if you're like, that is the type of extension I wanted, but after reading those reviews, I'm not sure that's the one for me. So it's going to give you a whole list of other extensions, maybe the ones for you. Let's say I decide I do want this extension on my Chrome browser. I want to add that to Chrome. You can see it's super easy to do that. No matter where I'm at in any of these buttons, this add to Chrome button never leaves me. So they want to make it easy for you to add to Chrome. So you know what? I like it. I'm going to add it to my Chrome. I'm simply going to click on that button. It's going to ask me, hey, do you definitely want to do this? Yes, I do. Add that extension to Chrome, and it's probably going to work its magic a little bit. Now it is added to Chrome. In fact, look, it says Speed Test by Ookla has been added to Chrome. And it tells you manage your extensions by clicking on the extensions icon in your menu. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So we close that out. You may have noticed it sent us to the extensions icon, right? If you hover over this, looks like a puzzle piece, right? In the top right-hand corner of your screen, if I hover over it, it says extensions. I'm going to click on that. That's how I find all my extensions that I have added to Chrome already. And it's an easy way to manage those extensions. So you see at the top, it says extensions, and it says here are all the extensions that you've added to your Chrome browser. You may notice to the right of each extension is like a little push pin. And if I hover over that, it says pin. So what does pin do? It pins that to my toolbar. So just easier access for that extension. So you can see it added the ad block extension icon to my toolbar so I can easily access it. But I don't want it there anymore, so I'm gonna just hover over that push pin again, and it says unpin. So I click it, and you see it's no longer in my toolbar. Also to the right of each extension, you're going to see those 3 dots that sometimes we call the snowman, the hot dog, the kebab. But if you hover over those 3 dots, you see it says more actions, because 3 dots in Google always means more options. So we're going to click on those 3 dots, and it's going to give us a whole list of other options. So for AdBlock itself, it has several options that maybe your other extensions don't. So for AdBlock, this is one, that blocks ads on your websites. It's going to give me options like block an ad, hide something, pause. It also gives me, there's also an option. So I'm going to click on that one, and it's going to take me to a whole nother website, a whole nother web page, I should say, with a lot of different general options. Now, these are going to be specific to the extension that you choose. And you know which extension you're working on, because look here, the left top hand corner, you see we're working on the AdBlock extension. Let's go back to those 3 dots. And you can see another option is to remove this from Chrome. So let's say I did add an extension to my Chrome browser. I checked it out. I decided not the one for me, not a good fit. It's so super easy just to remove it by clicking on that link right there, and it's gone. It's gone from your Chrome browser. You can also pin it here. So just like you can pin it with the push pin, you can pin from this menu as well. And on every time you're going to get this manage extensions button. So let's click on that. So once again, it's just giving us more information about that specific extension that we've downloaded. First thing you notice, it's on. So I can easily turn it off by clicking on that button. It's no longer running in Chrome browser. Turn it back on. And then it gives me just more information about the extension, the description, the version, the size, site access. Here's an option here that's pretty interesting. It says allow in incognito. So if you're not familiar with incognito in Chrome, it's simply a way to open a browser where Chrome no longer tracks your browsing history, your cookies, your data. The thing is, your extensions don't work in incognito either. So you'll have to click on this tab if you want it to run while you're in incognito. That's hard to say. All right, it also tells you where you got that from and gives you another option if you want to remove that extension. All right, let's go back to that 3-dot menu again. I want you to notice, or want to point out that for every single extension that you have, when you click on those 3 dots, the first thing it gives you is the link to the Chrome Web Store for that extension. So maybe you wanted to go back and read through all that information again. Maybe you missed something. It'll easily take you back there. And when you're back in the Chrome Web Store, on the page for that extension, look at the option it gives you at the top, remove from Chrome. So Chrome wants to make it easy for you to not only install it or add it to your Chrome browser, but it gives you several ways just to remove it as well. Easy peasy, right? All right, don't worry if you didn't catch all that. I know we ran through that very quickly. I've included a link in the handout with instructions on how to install and manage all your extensions. So make sure you check out the handout for those instructions. All right, so we've sort of have an idea now how to install and manage those. Let's talk now about some extensions that could help you and your virtual students. So the first extension I want to talk to you about is called Extensity. Extensity is just an easier way for you to turn on and turn off extensions as you need them. It's a great way to manage all your extensions. So in your puzzle icon, your extension icon, well, I have it in mine because I have that on my computer, right? You can see I have this is what the Extensity extension looks like. Also another mouthful, Extensity extension, but it's like a little yin and yang symbol. You can see it, I have pinned it at the top of my toolbar for easier access, and there's a reason for that. If I go up to that icon for that extension and I click on it, it gives me a list of all my extensions. Now, let's say I had hundreds of extensions installed on Chrome. I could use the little search box here to find the one that I'm looking for and turn it on or off. So how do I turn them on and off with Extensity? It's so super easy. I find the one that maybe I don't need anymore. I click on it, and you notice it's grayed out. It's no longer bright and shiny. So that means it's turned off. Easy to turn back on too, simply by clicking on it again. No longer grayed out. That extension is turned on. So why would I want to turn extensions on and off? Well, just remember that these are little programs that are running in the background of your computer. So they're using the brain cells of your computer. So if you have extensions that you only use occasionally, probably would just want to turn those off for the time being. As you can see, it's so super easy to simply turn those back on when you want to use them. So I highly recommend not leaving them all on all the time. All right, the next extension that I want to show to you is called Tab Scissors. It's actually two, Tab Scissors and Tab Glue. They work together. So Tab Scissors is a program that will divide your screen into two screens. So I use this a lot, let's say when I'm working on a presentation and I have all my notes on one side of the screen, and then I have like a slide deck on the right hand of the screen, and I'm working in both back and forth simultaneously, but I want to be able to see my notes while I'm creating my slide deck. Your students do this too. They're looking at the research while they're working on a paper. They're looking at instructions for their assignment while they're working on the assignment. And so if we only have the one screen, it makes it pretty difficult too. You have to go back and forth between tabs. This makes it so much easier. So what you do is you click on the tab that you on your screen where you want it to divide. So I've clicked on this tab. I'm then going to go to that extension tab scissors. I'm going to click on it, and it's going to divide my screen into two screens, right? It divided it from the tab I was clicked on over to the right. So I've got two screens going. I can work on them simultaneously, but then I'm done. I want to put those two screens back together. You just go up to your extensions icon, scroll down to Tab Glue, and click on it, and now my screen is all back together. Whoops. One screen, no longer two screens. So simple, easy. Tab Scissors separates, Tab Glue puts back together. Alrighty, the next extension I want to show you is called Office Editing for Docs, Sheets, and Slides. It looks like this. I want to show it to you in the Chrome Web Store. It's a great little extension. As you can see, it says you can view and edit Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint files, all with Google. So you can see those in Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. So essentially, you don't have Microsoft Office on your computer, but the people sharing items with you do. That's what they work in normally. And let's say your kid only has a Chromebook, right? And they don't have Microsoft Office on it. This is a great little extension to allow them to see and edit those documents. Super easy, super great. I'll show you once again what it looks like, where it lives in your extension list. Okay, another great little extension is called Save to Google Drive. So let's say your students are out there researching, looking for things, and this Save to Google Drive is a great way to easily put those items directly into your Google Drive. So let's say I go to like the Chrome Web Store, I see this, say, oh, okay, well, I want to keep this information and I want to organize it. And so I'm going to go up to my extension list. I'm going to find Save to Google Drive, and I'm going to click on it. Oh, it says it doesn't like that web page. So let me go to another one, okay? I'm on Wikipedia about, this is a Wikipedia page about Wikipedia, but I can go up to save to Google Drive and click on that one. Now, remember, it's going to take a second because this is a huge website, but you can see it's scrolling through the website right now, capturing that website. And now it's going to process all that information, and that is a lot of information, but I know that it's doing it because it's on the screen telling me that it's capturing everything on this web page right now. When it's done, it's going to give me a message that says, hey, look, we saved this whole website to your drive. And I can either rename it, maybe since it's part of my research, I need to rename it. I can trash it right then and there, or I can actually access what it captured and what is living in my Google Drive. So it's a lot of information, as you can see, because it's every piece of the web page. I can easily scroll up and down it just by left clicking and pulling it up or down. You can see it is all the entire website it captured. Amazing, isn't it? And it's such an easy, simple tool just for grabbing something and putting it in your drive so that you can read through it and access it later. So another very similar extension is called, whoops, I'm going to go back to that Wikipedia, is called Pinterest Save. So if you have not recognized the education piece of Pinterest, you're really missing out. So Pinterest is its own, website itself, where people create boards and they pin items to their board. So these items could be articles. A lot of people pin recipes, but they can be videos. They can be all sorts of information. There are millions of educational helping articles, assistance, tutorials out there on Pinterest. And it's a great way to organize information for a research project, for a school assignment, for, let's say you're trying to learn how to use Google better. There's tons of information about Google that you can pin to your board on Pinterest. This particular extension makes it super easy so that when you're out there looking at a website and you think this needs to be on my board in Pinterest for my project, for my tutorial, for my education, I can easily do that. So I've got this Wikipedia site up. This is something I want to save to Pinterest. I would just click on the button and it's going to ask me, okay, which of these pictures do you want to pin? I'm going to click that one and it's going to save it to my Pinterest. It's that easy. So if you're not using Pinterest, check it out. Great options there. Okay, I'm going to close that out. Let's talk about another really cool extension, and it is called Equatio. So Equatio is a great little extension that allows us to create mathematical equations, formulas, quizzes. It works in Google Docs, forms, slides, sheets, and drawings. I'm showing it to you right now in a Google Doc. So actually, I'm going to X out of the doc and go back into it. Hopefully, it will, yes, do its thing when I open it. So when I open up this Google Doc, the first thing you're going to notice is it's got math at the top. I created that mathematical equation in Equatio. Now, normally, of course, it's not doing it now, but normally I'll get a pop-up that says, there's math in this document. Do you want to use Equatio to edit it or work in it? Yeah, I do. So let's just go to Equatio. Let's click on it. Let's get it to working. Okay, so you notice at the bottom of my screen now it popped up. It says Equatio. It gives me the option to edit math or insert math. So we want to edit our math. So if I click on that, you see what happened? This particular big long strand of numbers and symbols, not really math for me. I just made that up. It's down here in a box that I can edit. So I can easily backspace and start redoing it. I can work with Equatio to make an equation. I can talk into Equatio. So let's say I don't know how to write those symbols, but I can say them. It will input them into this box. I can use my own handwriting. If I click on that one, you see I get a new handwriting box. So let's say I want to say 3 times 4. Recognize my handwriting, hopefully. If it doesn't, I can go in and edit it, but it adds it to that math sequence that I've got going on. When I'm done with that, let's say I've got it exactly the way I want to do it. I simply go down to the box that says Insert Math, and I click on it, and it inserts that into my document. So it's essentially an image. And I've got some options, of course, with that image. But let's say I was working on this one originally. It's not the one I want anymore. If I click on it and I hit delete, I can easily get rid of that one. So this extension is great because it's so hard to make these type of math equations with our normal keyboard options. It's just not possible, is it? So if your kiddos are working in math, check out Equatio. Okay, the next one I want to talk to you about is called screencastify. Let's go look at that one. I went right through it. So here it is in the Chrome Web Store, Screencastify. You can see it says it's a video screen recorder. So Screencastify easily allows you or your student to capture, edit, and share videos. So with Screencastify, students, they can easily record their screen, they can easily record their face or their voice, one or the other, and they can create things like slideshows that are narrated. They can do a speech, create a dub video, whatever it is they need to do for class. Screencastify is such an easy program that allows them to do that. So I'm going to go back to the little document with the math in it. I'm just going to push the Equatio to the bottom there. And I'm going to go up to my extensions icon again. And I'm going to scroll down to Screencastify. We're going to click on that, and it's going to give me an option. So easy. So it's going to ask me, do you want to record your browser tab? Do you want to record your desktop? Do you only want to record your webcam, so we're not sharing a screen at that point? Do you want to use your microphone? If you're talking into it, you can see that mine is working because that little line is going up and down that I'm talking. It's showing that microphone is working. Or do you want to embed a webcam? It's that easy. And when you're ready to record, you just click on record, and it begins recording, and it saves it when you push stop. It's just so easy. Now up at the top of your screen, you've got more options. So one is to view all of your recordings. You can see notifications and settings. And then on the left here, you see those 3 lines. Call that the hamburger menu, but it also means more. And if we click on that, once again, several of those same options, you can see all your previous recordings. You can upgrade to unlimited. Don't know what that means. I'm sure it's just, more memory, more videos options. But you can edit the videos that you've already recorded. That's really cool. And more options, more help. Hey, maybe you've got a different account. You need to switch to that or just sign out. But Screencastify, simple, easy, very user-friendly for our students. Check that out if they need to record a video or create something for school. All right, done with that one. Now let's go to a couple of websites that help students who are learning to read, who need information read to them. Maybe you're like my kiddo who doesn't read very quickly, but does really well when he listens and reads to something at the same time. So the first one I want to talk to you about is called Announcify. We're going to go back to that Wikipedia website. Whoops. Alrighty. Announcify actually reads the entire website to you out loud. So it just takes a second to load, but it will begin reading the website to you immediately. So you just click on the icon and it'll start reading this whole website to me. It's really cool. I really like it. One that is very similar, but one that I use more is called Selection Reader. So with Selection Reader, same deal, right? It's going to read the text to you. But what I like about Selection Reader is I highlight the text that I want it to read to me first. So if I read, let's see, if I highlight just that, and then I go up to my extension called Selection Reader, I don't know if you heard it or not, but it read only the highlighted text to me immediately. The voices are different too. I'll say that. Announcify is a male voice. Selection Reader is a female voice. They're very different. Check them both out. See which one best works for your student. Just know that those type of extensions are available for you. All right, Grammarly is another great little extension I use constantly. When you open up a document, this is a Google Doc, but it also works in emails, web forms, all sorts of applications. It works in. It's working in the background. I know it's working in the background already because it has given me some red lines underneath some of the information on this document. So if you hover on those red lines, Grammarly is going to give you some recommendations and say, you might want to do this. Like for this one, it says remove the space between these two words. It catches stuff like that, right? And so if I want it to do that, I simply click on it. Now, let's say I hover on another one and I don't like either one of their recommendations. I can either dismiss it or I can see more options in Grammarly. I'm going to dismiss it and it's done. It's a very intelligent extension. It's a really great choice if your students are doing emails, creating written content for school, which we know they are, right? But it checks your spelling, it checks your grammar. It really helps with research papers and essays to make sure they're more polished before your students turn them in. It can also help catch mistakes commonly made in English by speakers of other languages. So check out Grammarly. All right, the last extension I want to show you is AdBlock. So we clicked on that one earlier, but let me show it to you in the Chrome Web Store. So AdBlock does what it says it does. It blocks ads. It blocks ads in pop-ups on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and many, many other websites. I have it installed on all of my Chrome browsers because don't want all those pop-ups all the time. It works great. Just know that when you install it on Chrome, AdBlocker is going to open a tab that says, would you like to donate to our cause? AdBlocker is free, but they do take donations if you want to give them. If you don't want to give a donation, simply click out of that tab and AdBlocker will continue to work in the background in your Chrome browser. So don't worry about them asking for money for you. Okay, so in my handout, I've included a few more extensions that I recommend you check out in the Chrome Web Store. I really hope these extensions help your students to better customize their experience in Google Chrome. And please remember to join us on Thursday for Computer Networking Basics. Before you leave today, don't forget to take the survey. I put a link to that in the chat. Thank you again for tuning in and have a great day.